The 4th of July, barbecues, fireworks, flags everywhere, America's birthday party. We're told to love our country, to be grateful for everything it gives us. But what does patriotism really mean? Is it just waving a flag and singing the anthem, or is there more to it? We thank America for our rights, our roads, our safety, like it's a generous uncle handing out gifts. But is that how it works? The story goes the government provides, we receive. But who's actually paying for all this? When you get a bill, you don't thank the bank. You realize you paid for it. Maybe it's time to look at the bill for all these gifts. This Independence Day, let's ask, are we celebrating a government that hands out rights or the people who fought for them? Maybe true patriotism isn't blind gratitude, maybe it's holding America accountable to its promises. Let's check the receipts. Because loving your country means making sure it lives up to what it claims to be. So, before lighting the sparklers, let's ask some real questions. Who really baked the cake? Let's talk about these gifts from America. Freedom, roads, safety. Freedom wasn't handed out to everyone. For many, it came with a "some assembly required" label, and they weren't allowed to open the box. The powerful didn't just decide to give rights. People had to fight for them. And those roads, schools, parks, we pay for them. Every paycheck, every tax. When a politician cuts a ribbon, remember, it's your money. Safety? We fund the police, firefighters, military. We pay their salaries, buy their equipment. The government isn't a benevolent provider. It's a service we fund. We're the customers. We have the right to demand better. These aren't gifts. They're rights won through struggle or services we pay for. If you think something's a gift, you feel indebted. If you know you paid for it, you feel empowered. That changes everything. Patriotism isn't about being grateful for what you already earned. It's about demanding what you deserve. So, next time you hear, "Thank America," remember, you're the one footing the bill. Don't just accept what you're given, demand better. That's real patriotism, and that's how you change a country. History isn't about gifts from the government. It's about people demanding change. Women didn't get the vote because politicians were generous. They marched, protested, and forced the issue. The government was the obstacle, not the hero. The same with civil rights. Freedom wasn't handed down from Washington. It was won in the streets, by people risking everything. Social Security, Medicare, public schools, national parks. None of these were gifts. They were fought for by citizens who refused to accept less. Progress comes from the bottom up. We, the people, are the architects. The government is just the contractor, and we have to watch them every step to make sure they don't cut corners. Forgetting that is forgetting who really built this country. It wasn't just the founders. It was everyone who demanded a better blueprint. Every right, every protection, every public good. Won by people who wouldn't take no for an answer. That's the real story of America, and it's still being written. So why do we thank the system? Enter the symbols, flags, anthems, pledges. It's America's loyalty program. Rituals that create emotional ties to the system, not the ideals. We're taught that questioning the system is disloyal. Criticize a policy, you must hate America. Protest injustice, you're disrespecting the flag. The symbol becomes more important than the principle. This blurs the line between government and country. Real fans know when to demand a new coach, but the loyalty program makes it hard to hold power accountable. Leaders wrap themselves in the flag to shield themselves from criticism. The result? People hesitate to speak out, and mediocrity and injustice persist. Patriotism becomes a performance, distracting us from real work. We become spectators, not participants. True loyalty means demanding better, not just cheering from the sidelines. What does real love for a country look like? It's not ignoring flaws or pretending everything's perfect. If you love someone, you tell them the hard truth. You want them to be better. That's real patriotism. Tough love, not blind worship. A real patriot confronts failures, not just celebrates victories. The most patriotic Americans, abolitionists, suffragettes, civil rights activists, were called troublemakers in their time. They loved America enough to demand it live up to its promises. Blind loyalty is easy. Real patriotism is hard work, questioning, demanding, organizing, building. It means believing in the people more than any leader or party. It means having faith that together, we can fix what's broken. Patriotism is holding the country's feet to the fire, not to burn it down, but to forge it into something better. That's how you honor America. That's how you make it stronger. This 4th of July, let's move beyond shallow patriotism. Enjoy the fireworks, but remember what Independence Day is really about: the ongoing fight for a country where power rests with the people. Being a true patriot means being an active citizen, showing up, asking hard questions, getting involved. Vote in every election, hold officials accountable. Remind them they work for us. Honor the legacy of those who fought for justice by continuing their work. The fight for a more perfect union isn't over, it's our turn now. Demand a country where justice and freedom are real for everyone. Celebrate your independence by exercising it. Speak up, support others, demand better. That's the highest form of patriotism. Let's make this 4th of July a celebration of where we're going, not just where we've been.